KYW News Time 9:30.
From the Delaware Valley Honda Studios, get a deal you'll like on a Honda you'll love.
KYW Newsradio
103.9 FM.
Pope Leo tells cardinals in English his election is a cross and a blessing as he celebrates his first Mass. The Pope is a Villanova grad who once worked as a groundskeeper for St. Denis Parish in Havertown, Delaware County. Retired Supreme Court Justice David Souter has died at the age of 85. Phillies were down 4 runs in the 8th. They came back to beat the Rays 7-6 in extras. We have 60 degrees under a cloudy sky in Philadelphia, reaching for 63 with some showers around on this Friday. Good morning, I'm Ian Bush. His first public Mass will be May 18th. His first general public audience, May 21st. This morning, we heard from Pope Leo XIV in English, calling on cardinals gathered for Mass at the Sistine Chapel to help him spread the Roman Catholic faith.
You have called me to carry that cross and to be blessed with that mission. And I know I can rely on each and every one of you to walk with me.
Leo spoke Italian and Spanish during his first remarks to the world yesterday following his election. He's a Chicago native, but are you really from anywhere else but Delco once you've lived in Delaware County, as Robert Prevost did? St. Mary's Hall was his first dorm at Villanova University, from where he graduated in 1977. Sure has been a whirlwind on campus there on the main line since his election. We get the story from KYW's Tim Jimenez.
Villanova President Father Peter Donahue on the Today Show said Father Robert Prevost always made sure to visit when he was in the U.S. The university also gave him an honorary degree, and he was on the Board of Trustees for a short time.
He's very simple. He's very gentle. He's not boastful at all. He's a very intelligent man, and he loves engaging with people. I think people will be very impressed with him.
And one of the people he engaged with is Villanova's VP of Campus Mission and Ministry, Father Kevin DePrinzio.
I knew him as Bob Prevost, one of our brothers.
When DePrinzio was getting started as an Augustinian friar in 2001, he was studying in the Midwest province where Father Prevost was in charge. Prevost then moved up to lead the entire order for 12 years in the role of Prior General. DePrinzio says when he was in Rome with classmates, Prevost treated them to pizza and beer. And in the years that followed, he always kept in touch.
In fact, I just got an email from him on Tuesday where he signed it Fraternally Bob.
Tim Jimenez, KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
More on Father Bob, now Pope Leo's connection to our area, to Delco, after we check traffic and weather. For that, we turn to the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center. What's going on, Jim Hubmaster?
Well, Ian, you're still seeing heavy delays if you're on 95 southbound from Cottman down to the Betsy Ross Bridge. It's an accident that remains. The left lane is still... Next update in less than 10 minutes. I'm Jim Hubmaster.
Got a beautiful Mother's Day weekend on tap. Today is just kind of yuck. AccuWeather meteorologist Bill Dager is here with the 5-day forecast.
Yeah, we couldn't work out a 3-day weekend of nice weather for Mom, Ian, but hey, we'll take tomorrow. Ian, we'll see a high of 76.
Bill, thank you. It's 9:35 now. So the Pope is an Augustinian based in Villanova. The Pope is a Villanova wildcat. He mowed church lawns in Delco. Might he be the first Pope ever to have set foot in a Wawa? Well, the man who was Father Bob worked alongside the Archbishop of Philadelphia recently. Nelson Perez, just back from Rome. He's celebrating a special Mass at 12:05 this afternoon in honor of the new Pope. We hear about his experiences in Italy from KYW's Vic Raghupathy.
Just last year, then Cardinal Robert Prevost was leading the Pontifical Commission for Latin America, a commission that Philadelphia Archbishop Nelson Perez served on.
When he speaks to you, he listens, and you almost get the sense that you're the only person in the world. You could sense that he has a really compassionate heart and a great sense of peace that just kind of comes out.
It's not unlike how many described Pope Leo XIV's predecessor, the late Pope Francis. Being in Rome this week, Archbishop Perez felt the weight of the Cardinal's decision as to who would fill those shoes.
We had all gone through the somber sadness of Pope Francis's passing, but the days leading up to the conclave and when the conclave began, a great sense of expectation and joyful excitement.
and eventually surprised at the decision, not only because he's the first American pontiff, but also because he's a Villanova grad who worked briefly for the parish of St. Denis in the Philadelphia Archdiocese. At the Cathedral Basilica of Saints Peter and Paul, Vic Raghupati, KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
9:37. The retired Supreme Court Justice David Souter has died at the age of 85. The Supreme Court says he died peacefully at his home. He said Souter served our court with great distinction for nearly 20 years. He brought uncommon wisdom and kindness to a lifetime of public service. This is a statement from the Chief Justice of the United States, John Roberts. After retiring to New Hampshire in 2009, Roberts says Souter continued to render significant service to our branch by sitting regularly on the Court of Appeals for the First Circuit for more than a decade. He will be greatly missed. Souter served for nearly 20 years. He often frustrated Republicans during his tenure as he consistently joined with the liberal members of the court, had been nominated by President George H.W. Bush. Retired U.S. Supreme Court Justice David Souter has died at the age of 85. To Wilmington, Delaware now, where a man was killed and two other people, including a 9-year-old girl, were injured in a shooting yesterday. Happened near the Thomas Edison Junior High School. The 21-year-old man died at the hospital. The 9-year-old and 19-year-old woman are both in stable condition this morning. Police say they don't know what led up to the shooting. They have not made any arrests. A couple from Lakewood in Ocean County is accused of killing their 3-month-old daughter. Caitlin Gibson and Ruben Santiago have been charged with first-degree murder. They were in court yesterday. Gibson had called 911 Monday saying their child was having a hard time breathing. The baby died at the hospital the next day. Prosecutors say an autopsy revealed the baby died from blunt force trauma. Their next court appearance is on Tuesday. It's 9:39.
Celebrating 60 years of service. The local news you care about from the KYW Newsradio team you trust.
61 degrees, some light rain showers. We're heading to 63 today. Back live to the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. We take a look at the big board on Wall Street, where the S&P 500 has started the day up about 0.5% to 22 points into positive territory. Dow Jones Industrials picking up 0.25%, 89 points, and the NASDAQ reaching higher by 2/3%, 113 points to start this last day of the trading week.
Serving Philadelphia and beyond on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
This is KYW News Radio.
9:45. Here are 3 things to know, sponsored by Norman Carpet and Flooring. Lawyers for the Menendez brothers will be in court today to try to get the entire L.A. District Attorney's Office removed from the case. We'll tell you why. More than $100 million in repair work on roads and bridges now underway in Camden County. In our top story this morning, Pope Leo XIV will hold his first public mass on May 18th, his first general audience, the 21st. The first American Pope, a Villanova grad, telling cardinals this morning in English, "You have called me to carry the cross and be blessed." That's all ahead in the next 15 minutes. Good morning. I'm Ian Bush. Tim McLaughlin at the editor's desk, along with Jay Rosen. Lawyers for Lyle and Eric Menendez will be in court today to ask the judge to remove the entire L.A. District Attorney's Office from the case. They're claiming they won't get a fair trial because the new DA and his staff are biased against them. CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson.
Bringing a motion to have any district attorney thrown off a case for bias is a big deal, but bringing a motion to have the entire district attorney's office be thrown off the case is certainly an aggressive move. I think it is one that's going to face an uphill battle.
The Menendez brothers have spent more than 30 years behind bars for murdering their parents in 1989. The previous DA had supported making them eligible for parole, but he lost his bid for re-election in November. To Camden County now, where in the short term, drivers will see detours and backups, but in the not-so-distant future, that inconvenience will pay off. Our South Jersey reporter Mike Doherty explains.
This is a much-needed projects all across Camden County.
County Commissioner Al Dyer, the liaison for Public Works, says this historic investment of $161 million this year and next year includes repaving Haddon Avenue in Camden, widening of Cross Keys Road in Pine Hill and Berlin, repairs for the Summerdale Road Bridge in Gloucester Township, and much more.
The roadways are, major, and, the taxpayers pay their money, and they want to make sure that they ride on comfortable roads in Camden County.
Some of the projects on schedule for 2026 are Crescent Road in Cherry Hill and Mount Ephraim Avenue in Camden. Dyer says their plans also include stormwater management, ADA-compliant sidewalks, and the potential for expanded bike lanes in some areas. Work has already begun on some of the projects, so drivers should remain alert and provide a little space for the crews to work safely. In Collingswood, Mike Doherty, KYW News Radio, 103.9 FM.
We are hearing this morning from the Prime Minister of Denmark, furious over reports the U.S. has been gathering intelligence on Greenland. The Prime Minister says you cannot spy against an ally. Here's correspondent Andrew Dimbert.
The Danish government has summoned the American ambassador over allegations of U.S. spying activity in Greenland. Officials in Denmark said the meeting took place. The Wall Street Journal had reported U.S. was gathering intelligence about Greenland's independence movement and its mineral resources after President Trump repeatedly pushed to take over the Danish territory.
The Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, accused the Wall Street Journal of aiding deep state actors who seek to undermine the president by politicizing and leaking classified information. 9:48 now. The Phillies sure had a happy flight to Cleveland, Dave Uram.
Well, Ian Bush series finale with a chance to sweep have not gone well for the Phillies so far this season.
It's their sixth time that they've won the first two games of a three-game series. And only once have they completed the sweep.
But after last night, you can say it happened twice.
Turner swings, bouncer up the middle. It's through for a base hit. With the infield in, Walls couldn't get it. And in to score is Marsh and Trey Turner with an RBI single. And the Phillies now lead 7-5.
Scott Franzke called a 7-6 10-inning Phillies win at the Rays on the Phil's Radio Network, 94 WIP. Rob Thompson's Phillies were down 5-1 in the 8th. Then they scored 3 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th, and 2 in the 10th.
I love the fight in the club.
Topper saying he loves the fight in the club. Leadoff hitter Bryson Stott with a monster 3-run home run to cut that deficit to 1.
I didn't know that was our first time sweeping after winning the first two games until before this. Before this. And it's good to finally sweep one. So.
And Brandon Marsh got the go-ahead double in the 10th.
Huge, definitely going into Cleveland, another really good ball club over there. So building up some momentum here and just carrying it over there is huge. Today's a bigger win than we all thought. So it's big for us.
Well, the post-game audio is from NBC Sports Philadelphia. The Phillies visit the Cleveland Guardians this weekend. Both teams are 22-15. Phils have won 9 of 11. Cleveland has won 7 of 9. I've been saying 8 out of 10 all morning, but it's 7 out of 9. My apologies. Either way, it should be a good one this weekend at Progressive Field. You got Aaron Nola going tonight, Ian, with a 7:10 first pitch.
Sounds good, Dave. Thank you. 9:50 with a crash on 95 southbound past the Betsy Ross to check on with Jim next.
Next update in less than 10 minutes. I'm Jim Hubmaster.
AccuWeather says rain showers around today as we head for just 63 degrees, about 10 degrees lower than the normal high for this day. Down to 49 tonight as the sky begins to clear out overnight, leading us to a mostly sunny day on Saturday. 73 for a high temperature tomorrow. Mother's Day Sunday, plenty of sunshine and a high of 76. We're at 59 degrees in Lansdowne now, 58 the temperature in Germantown and in Cherry Hill at 9:54 on this Friday morning.
Health News on KYW News Radio, sponsored by Independence Blue Cross.
Drugs that are used to treat HIV may have an added benefit, reducing the risk of Alzheimer's.
A study by the University of Virginia found HIV patients who take drugs called NRTIs have a 6 to 13% lower chance of developing Alzheimer's disease. Researchers say these drugs have the potential to prevent around 1 million Alzheimer's cases every year.
At CBS's Michael George, by the year 2050, the number of Alzheimer's patients in this country is expected to double, and the cost to treat them is expected to grow to at least $1 trillion a year. The Villanova Pope's first public audience and his first public message in English. We'll hear about it coming up.
WPHI-FM Jenkintown, KYW and WIP-FM HD2 Philadelphia.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.